Thank you all so much for being here. This is one of my favorite things. In 2015, my mother-in-law, Molly Irvin, we were packing shoe boxes for the Samaritan's Purse ministry, and I thought, we have all these kids that are in foster care and care in our DYS facilities. Those are our kids. We're legislators in the executive branch, the judicial branch. We need to make sure that we reach out and do something special for the kids that are in our custody. And the policies that we create, there is nothing more important or more significant than the policies we create that effectively direct our children and our youth and the families that they are coming from and the families that they are going to, whether that be foster families or forever families. But the most significant policy we could ever pass or ever work on is the policy that really directly affects our children, our youth, and the stabilization of families. And so Molly Irvin, my sweet little mother-in-law, we decided to do Christmas in the Capitol, and Governor Hutchinson and his wife Susan at the time were just amazing, and they said, yeah, let's do this. And so the tradition started, and all of my colleagues that are here with me, the legislators, they're the ones that really pitched in and helped. And they come every year and they support this. They bring gifts. There's the different professional associations, lobbyists. We have Larry Walther here, our treasurer. We have constitutional officers, Leslie Rutledge, Tim Griffin. Everybody has sent gifts. Tammy Land and Dennis Mulligan and John Thurston. Our judicial Supreme Court justices, Rhonda Wood and John Dan Kemp, our Chief Justice. So many of them have pitched in over the years to support this. So this is an all hands-on-deck effort, and we are so happy to partner with Project Zero and the call specifically. And we're excited that they're always here and have always participated with us to celebrate this. There's so many events around the state that do this, but the reason why we want to do it here is because this capital is the children's capital. This is their capital. And these are the kids, these are the constituents that matter the most that we should really be focused on at Christmas, particularly those that are in foster care and DYS. So it's a thrill. I'm so excited. I think this is the most gifts we've ever had, but it's so much fun to have all of you here, and it is my incredible honor and pleasure to introduce our governor, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and her husband, Brian Sanders. If they will come forward, we are so thrilled that you're here and participating with us. Our second time that you're here. Last year was her first. But we're so thrilled that we have a governor who is focusing on children and on youth and strengthening families and bringing health back to our kids in so many different aspects and ways. And so, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
There. Good morning, and thank you all for being here, and a huge and special thank you to Senator Irvin and Representative Fight for all that you are doing in this space to help so many kids across our state feel loved and celebrated during this special time of year. As you mentioned, this is the 10th year in a row that you've held Christmas at the Capitol, and each year it continues to grow and get better and better, meaning more and more kids are being celebrated and helped during this time. I also obviously want to thank our nonprofit groups that are here with us today. The Call and Project Zero do outstanding work across our state to help place kids in loving homes. Thank you. And I want to thank Director Tiffany Wright and the other members of the DCFS team for being here. I know that you have one of the toughest jobs in all of state government, especially during the holiday season, and we're incredibly grateful for what you do and all of our team at DCFS and DHS as well. 2024 has been a big year for our foster and adoption community. I've worked with a lot of the people that are here today to put even more support for our foster families and our adoptive families in place. And I know that our next legislative session, we have even more work to do. But in the meantime, I want to celebrate some of the great milestones that we've had. For the first time since Arkansas started recording statistics, there are fewer than 200 kids waiting for adoption in our state. That is an amazing testament to the love and compassion of the men and women around this room today who work on this every single day. So thank you for what you're doing. And I want to share one story that I've put out on social media, but it is one that I think is just so unbelievable and really speaks to the dedication of the people who work on this issue day in and day out. But it's about a boy named Jose. He's 17, and he has spent more time in foster care than any other kid in Arkansas's history. Jose has severe disabilities, and he will require hands-on support for the rest of his life. But that did not stop Mary and Patrick from welcoming him into their family. As of last month, Mary and Patrick are now Jose's mom and dad. And there are kids all around our state, unfortunately, just like Jose. And while all of their stories are very different and unique, and each situation requires its own set of circumstances, one thing brings them all together. And one thing is that they all deserve to be and feel loved. And today's event helps do exactly that. So thank you for your leadership, Missy and Charlene, and for everyone who has helped and given to make Christmas at the Capitol such a huge success. I'll now turn it over to somebody who I mentioned before, but has done more in this space maybe than just about anybody, and that is DCFS Director Tiffany Wright, who does an amazing job. Tiffany, please come up. Thank y'all.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor Sanders, for being here, for your support to our children and families in our state in both DCFS and DYS custody. Your help is amazing beyond just celebrating Christmas. It's throughout the year, so thank you. Let me begin by saying thank you to Senator Ervin and Representative Fite for continuously bringing us together each year to ensure that every child in our state has the best Christmas possible. On behalf of both DCFS and DYS, we are appreciative of all who've contributed to this event to help children and families in our state have this best Christmas. The children we work with have endured significant trauma, and without the support of everyone in this room and across the state of Arkansas, we would not be able to make the holidays nearly as special. During my time at DCFS, I have watched Christmas evolve into what it is today, and one of those many reasons is the support all across our state. I've been watching communities come together to make sure that all children in foster care and at home with their families receive their Christmas wishes. If you're in Sebastian County, the Arkansas Family Alliance is spearheading that effort with the entire community. Yesterday, I saw photos where local law enforcement had even joined in on the effort. Here in Central Arkansas, this past weekend, our dear friends at Project Zero held another successful Candyland Christmas. Not only did they fill wish lists for over 200 kids, and I do mean fill, they buy every single item those kids ask for, but they also dedicated the day connecting children to their potential forever families. There are children that were at the event this year that will not be in foster care at Christmas next year. Meanwhile, in Northeast Arkansas, Together We Foster is having events for families and walking alongside DCFS to fill those Christmas wish lists. And many other counties across the state have the support of the CAW, CASA, and other organizations going above and beyond for these Christmas efforts. These are just a few examples, and there are so many other amazing things going on to give children and youth this Christmas. And while the stress is high, trust me, I know, I have my own gifts to buy, the partnerships are strong. And while we won't see all the end results, we know it will be big smiles on the faces of children Christmas morning. And that's what really matters. As I close, I need to also recognize the legislators and others who have contributed to this day. Without this, there would be children and youth who would not have anything. Even more important than having a gift under the tree is about the connections and feeling the love that comes from the word home. And so today, I'm pleased to introduce you to our next speaker, Kristen Butler, who's the Executive Director of The Call.
Merry Christmas. What a distinct privilege it is to even stand in this room with each of you. For most of us, if we think back on our childhood growing up, and I was lucky to grow up in this beautiful state of Arkansas, it meant deep family traditions like Christmas pajamas, going to look at Christmas lights, candlelight services, and of course the all-important anticipation of Christmas morning. Just a few weeks ago, I met a very special young man. And this young man is a high school senior in our state. And like any good Southern young man, and is represented by many donations on this table, he lives and breathes football. In fact, he's very, very, very talented, and so we have many in-state colleges that are actually recruiting him now. And I believe he may have an in-state offer to play ball here. But in the middle of all of this excitement of his senior year, he has found himself thrown into the midst of this world we call foster care. Statistics tell us that finding a placement for this senior boy is going to be difficult. I was in a meeting with a foster family with The Call one day, and as we were wrapping up, she shared, hey, I have to run. I have this placement call with DCFS, and it can be hard to place kiddos in care, but my heart's just there. I want to see what we can do to help. So she rushed out of our meeting to go take this important phone call. And about 45 minutes later, I get a text message, and it says, I'm taking a placement for a long weekend. And it was our football friend. On Monday, we got together, and the first thing I asked was, how did the weekend go? And she shared with me how they had the honor of taking him to early morning football practices, picking him up from late, faraway football games, and she shared a few of their car ride conversations, which included, do you know where I'm going to go next? Thank you for picking me up as he fell asleep in the car. I just don't know about this not knowing where I'm going situation. And all I want to do is play ball. When he left their house for a more permanent location, the foster family shared with him their desire and their excitement to come watch him play another football game. To which he excitedly asked, and can we take a picture on the field after the game like a family? Can you imagine your senior year in high school, your life is turned upside down and inside out, and all you can dream of is normalcy, and your sole desire is a family picture on a football field in your hometown? You see, this young man's story is not unique. In fact, in Arkansas today, we have approximately 3,500 children and youth in foster care, longing with great anticipation for the biggest thing, a family, for connection, for someone to say yes. Real kids, real hopes, real dreams, real futures. But you see, their future is contingent on something very important. It's contingent on me, and it's contingent on you to put our yes into action. Let's just stop and think for a moment about the impact that we could see in each of our own home communities and as our state collectively if we each were willing to put our yes into action. We have such power to impact the lives, like our football friend, but only if we choose to act. What an incredible privilege it is to know that one yes can so positively impact the single life of one youth. A yes from an ordinary person like me, or an ordinary person like you, from an ordinary place like Arkansas, is instrumental in extraordinary futures for our youth. Many of you stand in the gap every single day. To thank you all by name would be impossible, but thank you. Thank you, DCFS, DHS, foster families, community partners, our governor, the legislators, for putting your yes into action. So may we all take the hope and joy of this Christmas season and share it in action with each person that we meet. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. And as we close, I'm going to ask everybody that's a legislator and on this side to grab a present and hand a present to everybody that's in the room. And if you're outside the room, please come in. What we're going to do, grab a present and start handing them out to everybody. Just everybody, I want everybody to hold a present, please, in their hands. And as we hold presents in our hands, everybody's going to hold a present.
Hey, is the bike too big to carry?
Yeah, probably, the bike's probably a little too big to carry, but.